up now on your spoiler-free wrestling news rundown, Jay White kicks the Gorillas of Destiny out of Bullet Club. We've got all the fallout from WWE's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, and CM Punk is the latest to be inducted into the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. All that and more on your spoiler-free wrestling news rundown. A major angle took place this weekend on Impact Wrestling's No Surrender pay-per-view. This angle will have ramifications in AEW, in Impact Wrestling, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, on this show, the Gorillas of Destiny, Tama, Tonga, and Tonga Loa were challenging Karl Anderson and Doc Gallows for the Impact World Tag Team titles. Finally, the Good Brothers versus the Gorillas of Destiny, after they came face-to-face at a New Japan of USA show back in the summer. Finally, these two teams are squaring off against one another. So the match is going along when Chris Bay, Bullet Club member Chris Bay, he was inducted into Bullet Club by Jay White during Jay White's first visit to Impact Wrestling. Chris Bay comes out, distracts the ref during a period where the Gorillas of Destiny are on offense. Tama Tonga Tongaloa are kind of like, hey, what are you doing out here, Chris Bay? And during all of this, Jay White sneaks in and gives Tama Tonga the Blade Runner, allowing Karl Anderson and Doc Gallows to retain their titles. And then after the match, it was made very clear that Jay White has kicked Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, and possibly Hikuleo and Haku, out of the Bullet Club. Karl Anderson and Doc Gallows are back in Bullet Club. Now, this has ramifications in AEW as well, as AEW has sort of a Bullet Club angle going on right now. Adam Cole, who is a member of the Elite in AEW along with the Young Bucks, and also maybe Red Dragons, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. Adam Cole brought Jay White into the promotion to help in his feud against the Best Friends. But he didn't run this by the Young Bucks first. The Young Bucks pointed out, hey, our friend Kenny Omega and Jay White used to be mortal enemies. But then Jay White on Twitter, after Impact Wrestling's No Surrender, he tags the Young Bucks in a tweet featuring him giving the Blade Runner to Tama Tonga. The Young Bucks then, in response, they changed their bio to read, never really cared for Tama anyway, TBH, to be honest. And Karl Anderson tweeted out, new Young Bucks bio spot on from every level, to be honest. And so what we appear to have here is a Bullet Club version that also includes members of the Elite, as it once did. And you've got Jay White, Karl Anderson, Doc Gallows, Chris Bay, the Young Bucks, Adam Cole, possibly Red Dragon? And then still healing from injuries, we don't know what Kenny Omega is going to say about all of this when he returns. Tama Tonga had a response for the Young Bucks bio, writing just simply, suck my D, bitch. And he had earlier issued a warning to Switchblade Jay White, just saying that he is a dead man. And so this is a major angle, of course, for fans of Bullet Club since 2013, when the faction first started. The Elite versus Bullet Club Civil War angle played a major role in kickstarting AEW. There's a lot to look forward to in this storyline in all three promotions. Also, in keeping with New Japan Pro Wrestling news, the company announced the brackets for this year's New Japan Cup today. 48 wrestlers will take part in the tournament from March 2nd all the way to the finals, which will be held on March 7th. So 48 wrestlers, many of whom receiving buys to the second round. There does not appear to be much reason stated in terms of why certain wrestlers received buys to the second round and others did not. For instance, Okada didn't receive a bye to the first round, but Satoshi Kojima did. Also returning to Japan for the first time since the World Tag League Tournament, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa will both be coming back. They have each received buys to the second round. So we don't want to go through every single match here, but these brackets are posted up at SpoilerFreeWrestling.com. One WWE story we should cover in this video: Bobby Lashley is legitimately hurt. Lashley went into the Elimination Chamber this weekend in Saudi Arabia as the WWE Champion, but during the Elimination Chamber match, where Lashley was defending his title, Seth Rollins powerbombed Austin Theory into Lashley's pod. The plexiglass went back and hit Lashley. Lashley fell back in his pod, had to be attended to by medics. But in reality, Lashley apparently hurt his shoulder at the Royal Rumble in his match with Brock Lesnar. He is likely going to need surgery, and he will miss WrestleMania. He will be out at least 4 months having shoulder surgery. Also, concerning stuff that happened at the Elimination Chamber, there was a spot in the match between Drew McIntyre and Madcap Moss where Moss landed flat on his head. However, he is said to be okay. And earlier reports from Monday also state that he is feeling okay despite being dropped on his head. So, even though that injury looked scary, it looks like Madcap Moss has walked away from it injury-free. AAA Lucha Libre held their Rey de Reyes tournament over the weekend. And returning to Mexico for the first time in over a year, Taya Valkyrie came back. She also won a 5-way match, which earns her a shot at the title she never lost, the Reina de Reinas Championship, currently held by Impact Wrestling's Deonna Purrazzo. So that means Taya Valkyrie versus Deonna Purrazzo is going to happen at some point. Will we see it in AAA, or will we see it in Impact Wrestling, where Deonna Purrazzo has been defending both the Reina de Reinas Championship and Ring of Honor's Women's Championship? Former Ring of Honor host Quinn McKay is now known as Kelly Kincaid, and she is the new host of NXT Level Up. NXT Level Up is the show that is replacing 205 Live on the WWE Network and Peacock. So good on Quinn McKay. Speaking of Ring of Honor will be back on April 1st for Supercard of Honor. Staying with Ring of Honor now, they announced today that CM Punk is the latest to be announced for the inaugural class of the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. CM Punk joins the Briscoes, Samoa Joe, and Bryan Danielson. Punk is a one-time ROH World Champion and twice held the ROH Tag Team titles along with Colt Cabana. WWE announced the brackets for the 2022 Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. The first 2 matches will take place on tomorrow's episode of NXT. And those will be Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray taking on Lash Legend and Amari Miller. Also happening on Tuesday night, Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley will take on Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro. And then next week, we'll see Indy Hartwell and Persia Parada against Wendy Chu and Dakota Kai. We'll also see Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez versus Yulissa Leon and Valentina Feroz.